When to walk away. Now, this is a topic that I notice a lot on social media, on YouTube, on any other platform you could go on. These people are telling you when to walk away. Now, I'm not going to tell you when to walk away because I don't know when to walk away myself. I have a tendency to not walk away from people. I'll take a break, but I wouldn't walk away from them. And of course, people are going to say, "Oh, it's because you have abandonment issues and you want to please people and you want to do this and they go into all this psycho babble stuff, that they read in books by somebody who analyze people and stuff like that. But in real life, when you're in that situation, none of that really means anything. And it also depends on who the person is that you are planning to walk away from. I think it's dangerous because a lot of the ways that people are talk about it is like, if they do this to you, walk away. If they do that to you, walk away. I mean, if somebody's like harming you personally, physically or mentally, like actually harming you, and it's absolutely intentional, hey, walk away. But a lot of the times people do stuff and they don't really mean any harm by it. So you strip them down. All the other stuff that's creating the problems for them, that that creating the way they react to you, you strip away all of that and deal with them as a human being and talk to them. Now, I'm saying that's what I would do. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm saying that I have done it and it turned out pretty decent for the person and for me. Okay, now, and it could happen in any scenario, be it a friendship, be it a relationship, be it a family member. For me, you strip it down. It's hard to just walk away. And a lot of people will say, oh, yeah, you find it hard to walk away because, you have abandonment issues. Well, that doesn't bode well for me because I'm from the third world. We were raised and taught to understand that people want to go. Like, if you live in the third world, your family member is going to leave and go to bigger places like Europe or go to America or, to find education or work. Some of them you rarely ever see them, and some of them you'll never see them again. Like when my sister moved away to America from let me see, she left in like the early 70s. I didn't see her again until 1983. And then I didn't see her again until 1988, 89. So there is no such thing as abandonment issues when you live in a third world country. We know people going to leave, and we know most of my friends in school, I'll never see them again. They moved to Europe, they moved to, America, they move all over the place. So you kind of been trained to that. So that doesn't really come to me. I don't have a problem with abandonment because I know people come and people go. And they go because they're going to go do what they're going to do. Or pleasing people. Yeah, I sort of kind of like to please people, but not to the extent where it's going to be detrimental to me. Now, if I'm married to somebody or somebody's a close friend of mine or something like that, yeah, I'll do some sacrificing for them as long as they're doing sacrificing for me. It goes up both. It's a two-way street. I'm not gonna sacrifice, and this person keeps taking. I'm gonna put them down, sit them down, and say, hey, this is happening. It can't happen that way. If they don't correct their behavior, then I'll go from there. Now, here's the thing. I do YouTube, and some people come on there. You might make a point, and they would come so staunch about it, and this is the way it is, and those are the type of people that you have to walk away from. You got to walk away from them because they are coming with their own idea of what you're saying and manifesting it to be in conjunction with their past and what happened to them. So they're not thinking of stuff objectively. They're just thinking for what is culturally normal or socially normal, but they're not thinking like a human being would think. It's like, okay, how are we going to solve this? Or how could we get to a middle ground? It's like, this is the way it is. And like I had a comment on one of my videos where, I spoke about, did women really change? And, or has it always been like that? And all I'm saying is that nothing has changed. It's always been like that. The only reason why it's different now is because women have gotten educated and they putting up with the same crap that they used to. And I actually said that verbatim in the thing. But that's not what the person heard. The person heard me saying that, oh, women are bad because they always been like that. No. If you watch the video, it shows that maybe I was talking about everybody. Bad boys have always been bad boys. It's always been like that. I specifically said that in the video. But, people who come in with their own past and stuff like that, they just blow it out of proportion thinking that you're against them. I'm not going to try to change somebody's mind that is like that. That's something they got to do on their own. Like I had to make some changes on my own to figure out how to live in this world, how to get along with people. Because I get along with people that most people think they shouldn't be getting along with, that I shouldn't be getting along with. I figured that out. And I'm not here telling people when to walk away and all of that. No. I don't know this is your situation. And all the psychobabble could come on here and tell you what to do, but when you're in that position and that situation, depending on who the person is, you can't just walk away. Especially if you're somebody who is really compassionate and who really cares about people. You can't just walk away. Sometimes you just have to find that medium and to deal with the situation. Because, most people in the world aren't vindictive. Most people aren't evil. Most people aren't consciously doing things to you. You have to take into consideration the situation, their past, and all of that in order to deal with the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, I used to hang out with this person, and they had some issues. Now, she had some issues, and I could have just walked away and go, "Oh, this is crazy. I can't deal with this," or I could try to understand where they come from. And a lot of people who say like, it's not your job to do this. Yes, it is. It's our job to look out for each other. That's why we're living on this earth as human beings, fellow human beings. At least that's what I think. I'm not telling you that's what you should do. What I think is, like I said, if it's not going to physically harm you or mentally destroy you, and there's somebody who is inadvertently doing stuff that gets on your nerves, sit them down and talk to them. Because, hey, you never know. You sit somebody down and talk to them and they will correct their behavior. So many people have had to sit down and talk to, like, for instance, I'll give you a scenario. There's this young lady that I was close friends with. And, she did something that disrespected me. Like I was talking to her, somebody else walked in the room. She acted like I wasn't there and started talking to that person. I know I could have seen forget her, and just like walk away and stuff. Later I went back and I said, hey, that was really disrespectful. I didn't get all upset and why you do that? I said, I wouldn't do that to you. Why would you do that to me? No, I didn't say it like, defensively. I was firm in what to say, but I said it, you know what I mean? It never happened again. If I was talking to her, somebody else start talking to her, she'd either tell them, hey, hold on, let me finish here, or she ignore that person. Sometimes you just have to talk to people and then they will understand what they do, And it's kind of frustrating because sometimes you figure people should know if I don't do it to you, you don't do it to me, but people are raised differently. Different cultural, because you could be in the same culture and still have varying cultural influences. And I'm not talking about different country culture. I'm talking about there is different subcultures within the main culture that you live in. That people teach the children different ways. Some people don't teach the children at all. And you just saying, hey, this is a situation that could solve it, you know what I mean? And that's what I do. But this is a whole tough thing about, oh, if a woman is hot and cold, walk away. That's up to you. The thing is, if you're gonna deal with them, the thing is when I deal with them, I'm not gonna say if you're gonna deal with them. I'm gonna say when I deal with them, I know not to expect anything. That's the problem. Before I would go in expecting something back until my ex-wife once told me that you expect too much of people. Oh yeah, I do. I gotta stop doing that. So I stopped expecting stuff to be different. That's the way it is. It's not hurting me mentally because I'm not expecting anything. It's not hurting me physically. I can't. You understand what I'm saying? And then, of course, people are going to say, oh, it's because you like attention and you didn't get attention when you were a kid. I'm 7 feet 1 inch tall. I got way too much attention. I quit playing college basketball because I was getting so much damn attention. It's just like, hey, everybody was in my face. If I was a mama's boy, I got tons of attention. Tons, way too much. I hate attention. I'm doing YouTube videos, which draws attention. But, the attention is limited to what you know about me. Which is not much. But I think the telling people to walk away thing is just as unhealthy as telling them to stay. Use your better judgment. You don't need somebody to tell you when to walk away or when to stay. You're gonna know. Your body reacts to stuff physically and emotionally and mentally and everything. It'll let you know when, hey, this is not a good thing. Concocting scenarios and say, well, when this happened or when that happened, that's the time to walk away. What are you telling people to do? You want to know. Sometimes when you walk away at the time, just that person is getting to the point where, boom, it registers. You walk away, right back to that. We got to start telling each other, or we got to stop telling each other how to deal with each other. And we need to go by our instincts. Because people need to start using them instincts, man. You could tell when people ain't vibing with you. You could tell. And you have to be strong enough to say, hey, I had to learn the hard way, that one, you know what I mean? Now that I have, I'm just telling you how I deal with it. Not telling you how to deal with nothing. That's up to you. You just pay attention. Sometimes when you pay too much attention, your circle is really small. That's the price you pay for paying too much attention. I pay a lot of attention. It's not that I don't trust people. And it's not that I think everybody that I encounter have it out for me. That's not the point. We live in a complex society as is, you know what I mean? We live in a world culture that emphasizes me, self first, love, everything is on steroids. Loving yourself is on steroids, taking care of me is on steroids, to the point where people are starting to lose compassion for others. And this is worldwide, I'm not talking about any specific country, any specific religion. It's just worldwide. That's just the way it is. Unfortunately. Doesn't mean those people are bad people, though. It's learned behavior. You could forget stuff you learn, especially if it's hampering other people. But that's what I say, you know what I mean? So, for me, I'm going to use my instincts to figure out when to leave. I'm not going to let some lifestyle coach tell me when to, some guru tell me when to, you know. I'm not going to let cultural swains tell me that this is the way it is and that's the way it is, and this is how you have to deal with it. And everything is like, beat your chest and act tough, you know. Everybody, listen, everybody's got emotions, male and female. You stifle them emotions, you become bitter. You become bitter, that's when you inadvertently start hurting people. Boom. And that's what my experience tell me. So, you know, I hope me babbling here for a minute show a different perspective of the walking away thing. Go with your instincts.